So, is it decal or decal? I found that most of the world refers to them as decal. However, being Canadian, we have some quirks with our dialect and also refer to them both as decal and decal, depending on your region. Regardless, either pronunciation is fine, and you should prepare yourself to hear it both ways, as my accent might slip up a few times in this series. So, what are these things, whatever they're called? Why do we use them, and how are they made? Decals are extra textures, extra in parentheses, that we can use to squeeze in more detail to models and environments for a rather small performance cost. We would want to do this for really two big reasons, although others might exist. One, the decal texture may be too complex to easily develop into the original model's texture, and two, we may be working with modular assets, so hard baking in texture information would mean that each generic piece would have the exact same unique details, which would cause massive repetition to be very visible to the player. While decals tend to be on the smaller side physically, the fidelity of detail within a game world can be significantly and positively impacted by their inclusion. In a sense, decals are modular textures that enable artists to further detail their assets with reusable textures that, when used in clever ways, can truly enhance the level of detail an asset has and break up any repetition that the modular assets may incur. Let's look at this road here, and spoiler, we will be dressing this up throughout the series. This is a modular piece that has some tileable textures on it, and that's it. However, if we were to tile this asset enough times, we would begin to really notice the unique texture landmarks and see the repetition. With a few decals, we can dress these assets up to try and obfuscate the obvious repeating patterns while also introducing new and cool texture information. And this texture information is not baked into any of these pieces. If I were to make new copies of the road, they would be completely fresh copies, which I would be able to use new decals on, or even use the ones we've already used, but rearrange them differently to further differentiate these pieces as being unique, even though you and I both know neither the assets nor the textures are truly unique whatsoever. Now, decals can be used for many different purposes, too many to really cover appropriately in one series. However, where most decals are used tends to be within the environmental stream of game development. So this course will cover their application within environment art. Well, alright then, how do we make decals? Well, that is exactly what we will be doing in this series. In the next video, we will begin our journey in Substance Designer, looking at how we can start to develop our very first decal.